Hey, 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 welcome to High Tech Tea, the podcast where we spill all the tea, all the news on AI, exactly what you need to know, break it down so it makes sense, then tell you what to do and what not to do with it. I'm your host, Jeneba, founder of Prompt Party, CEO, Chief AI Strategist of AI Atelier Consultancy. You can find me on all the things as Jeneba. And this is the first episode. This is us getting into it. So I got a couple stories today. Some is from China. Some is from OpenAI. Some is from Claudine. So let's get into it. T number one, okay? Kimi K2.6 by Moonshot. If you have not heard of it, it is a LLM by a Chinese AI lab. They just dropped their new version called Kimi K2. If you're from the time where I'm from, K2 means something completely different. I guess they're just going with it because they're not American, but if you know, you know. So Kimi is an open source, allegedly open source, because I've been hearing some talk on threads that it's not really open source, but I'm gonna mind their business a little bit later on. It is a model that has 1 trillion parameters, which for context is an absolutely obscene amount. It's multimodal, meaning it could process text, images, videos, and more. But here's what makes Kimi different. It can handle 300 sub-agents running 4,000 workflows in parallel. It can run 13 consecutive hours of autonomous coding, and I'm going to get into what that means. It beat out similar frontier models on something called the Humanities Last Exam Benchmark. If you don't know, all LLMs or large language models or even small language models, they need to clear certain AI benchmarks. It's like the Harvard, the Yale testing of AI. So it's basically given top tier on one of the hardest benchmarks that's out here for examining AI. And it introduces something called Claude groups, which is not OpenClaw, but very similar. I think they're stealing the OpenClaw branding or strategy. And Claude groups inside of Kimi is a way for humans and agents to collaborate in a shared workspace. So basically OpenClaw, but not OpenClaw. And you can collaborate with your agents, your employees in something like a Google style workspace, right? A Google, Google workspace. So anybody can download this, build on it, and fine tune it. What does all this actually mean? Okay, I'm glad you asked. 13 hours of autonomous coding means in practice, like imagine if you handed a task to an executive assistant at your job and say, build me a full app. The assistant is going to go and do that without checking in, without explaining anything, without back and forth for 13 hours straight end to end. So when we're talking about like delegating, outsourcing to AI or an AI employee, this is what we mean. Delegated autonomous work. And like I said, think of all this going down in like a Google Doc, Google Sheets type of space. So that's where your coworkers are going to be. They're going to be in a doc collaborating with you alongside of you. So I think for solo founders, for solopreneurs like myself, this is big. I can't wait to try it. I haven't tried Kimi yet, but I will be by the end of this week. Freelancers, tap in. I mean, anybody building without a technical co-founder, tap in. This is your time. Come to the front of the class. this changes everything on how you can ship and build. Okay. So how you can try it. If you're technically inclined a little bit, go ahead and start trying this and experimenting. If you're not, I think you should just watch the space and watch the talk and what's going on in this space. Still pay attention to it. I think that's very important in this age of AI, is that clock everything, track everything, even though you might not be using it or building with it. Just start understanding what it means, read blog posts, listen to podcasts on AI development, AI building. Okay, you can even start with YouTube University. Tons of good AI there. I might be able to put that into the show notes or comments on the AI YouTubers and podcasts that I get into and that I listen to, right? Or that I follow. So stay up on that one, right? Buy it or try it. Should you invest in this? Should you invest your attention in this? It's a yes for me. The open source angle is very attractive. It means that, the ecosystem around it is going to go very fast. You're going to start seeing this as a wrapper on top of other things. So think of this as a workflow automation tool. You're probably going to see a Notion integration really soon. I'm predicting probably a Canva integration or plugin very soon around this tool. So keep that one up on your notes, your radar. The next thing we need to talk about is, let me go through my notes. OpenAI and Codex. I saw somebody on Thread saying every time they try to cancel their ChatGPT, OpenAI releases some new feature that they gotta go try. I don't think OpenAI is dead in the water. Codex is very good and very powerful. I said on YouTube a little while ago, Codex is a tool that I use for code checking, okay? That I use for code QA because I'm not a developer. So best practice is you don't need to, like, if you do something in one tool, you don't use that same tool to check it. It's like if I'm trying to write a book, I need an editor to check what I'm writing and to make it better, right? So that's what I use Codex for. If I'm building something, I use Codex to go ahead and check it. Codex is, if you don't know, Codex is OpenAI's coding agent. It lives inside ChatGPT. You probably noticed it in your menu. If not, go check it out. And they've been building memory inside of Codex for a little minute now, making it smarter, making it be able to read context over time. This week, they took it a step further. They have built something called Chronicle. Well, actually last week at this point. Took me a little while to record this. So at the time of recording, it's already out. Here's your one sentence version. Chronicle lets Codex see what's exactly on your screen. Google has this same tech. They released this feature a long time ago. That's why I say Google is the leader on AI, like hands down. Google is going to come out as the number one AI leader in the marketplace. Mark my words on that, right? That's a futurist prediction. You heard it here first. I know I'm not the only one saying that, but I've been saying that since last year. So, quote me. Okay, so basically you can see what's on your screen. So when you're trying to build something and you get an error while vibe coding, vibe designing, whatever you're doing, or if you like a for real developer and you are deep in code, in your code base, Chronicle can see what's on your screen, understand that context, and debug for you, QA for you, all these things, right? So if you have an error message up while you're building, pull up Chronicle, and Chronicle could see it and help you work through that. because it already knows what's going on. It learns the tools you're working on. It learns your tech stack, and it learns how you work. So it's building a mental model of how you work and what you do. This is like next level. I mean, if you're scared of this, which I know some people listening to this is going to be hesitant. They don't want AI in their business like that. They don't want AI minding their business. But for me, this is a definite yes. I think it matters even more for the non-coders, the non-software engineers in the room, because the friction that's stopping you from building with AI coding tools is really the code itself. So this is going to be a huge unlock for those of you in the room. It's a context transfer. Having to explain your whole project every single time from scratch is so annoying. Having to copy and paste error messages, which is sometimes what I do. When I'm building something, I will go quickly and copy and paste it into Gemini because Gemini knows all the things because of Google. And it helps me troubleshoot in real time. So that's what I do, right? You don't have to describe your screen anymore, which is what I've had to do in the past. Chronicle eliminates that. I'm going to be turning it on. I'm going to be trying this feature and getting back to you. If you want to try this, it's not widely available yet. But if you have ChatGPT Plus or Pro, stay tuned because Codex is going to be rolling out those updates in the next couple of weeks. For now, just go ahead and experiment with Codex as it is. You could do it the old school way, practice describing your problems and asking AI the clarifying questions. I think this is important because that's how you should be training yourself to use and delegate with AI, not just dictating, right? So buy it. This one is a full buy for me. It's a yes on the investment. It's a foundational shift in how AI tools work. The AI can see your context, remember your working patterns, your human patterns, and it can show up ready to work for you. And if you're building a workflow inside of AI tools, when we get Chronicle, pay close attention because it's really going to disrupt how you work, I think. So here's some more tea, right? The next pour is Claude as a design tool. This is for my creatives. I have not tried Claude Design yet. I used to be on a design system team. For those that do not know me or know my background, I come from the UX and product space. And so I always build design systems with every single thing that I build in AI, whether it's a website, an app, or even a landing page, or even an email template. I build a design system for it because it's really like a cheat code, so that you don't have to keep telling AI like your colors, your fonts. It just makes life 10 times easier. So I know this is a feature in Claude Design. I'm not even sure if I would even use that because like I said, I've been doing that already. It can probably speed up my workflow when I'm building something new, but that is TBD because like I said, I have not used it. But the real spicy question this week is if Claude Design is a Figma killer. I'm going to say no, not yet. Hot take. People are saying that it is. I am going to say I believe that Claude Design is good. However, I don't believe that it's great. And I have been seeing people on threads talking about people going in other people's comments and saying like Claude Design gave them the exact same design. So at the end of the day, like I've always said, you can't put lipstick on a pig. It's still going to be a pig. If you don't know how to prompt, and if you don't know how to prompt contextually, it's still going to give you basic Betty output. It's still going to give you like the same thing that is trained to give everybody else. And I think that's where we're going to see, I think we're going to see prettier slop for a little while with Claude design. That is my prediction. Figma is already the standard design tool. And Figma was the Adobe InDesign killer, the Adobe Illustrator killer. So I think it's too soon to tell whether Figma if it will eliminate Figma. I don't think so, because I think enterprise will be slower to adopt this as a industry standard and as an enterprise tool. Therefore, Figma will still be in the UX world, in the product design world, in the world where all of this matters at the enterprise level. I think Figma is still here to stay for now. What is Claude Design, right? For those listening, Claude Design is a design tool made by Anthropic, the same people who made Claude. It can generate UI, UX, graphic design systems, decks, PowerPoints, visual components, all the things that designers do, right? So designers are probably wondering if it's coming for their creative workflow. Like I said, I don't think so yet. They don't have to stop. They could stop shaking in their boots for now. And it's not just about getting pretty pictures. I think Claude is trying to be at the intent layer of design. And that's what design is all about. At the foundations of design, UX is all about intent. I think that we've gotten away from that in the design world. And that's a story for another day of why I was completely over the UX field. That's a story for another day. But anyway, design intent, which is things like spacing, hierarchy, accessibility, information architecture, and producing outputs that don't look like a robot made them. So here's how you can test it. The part of design that is used to require a trained eye, right? Like a first draft, a wireframe, exploration. I think that's where we need to be using this tool right now. That's how it can help the UX design, product design industry as a whole. The designer's job is shifting. I think that most designers are not prepared to shift with what's going on in the industry. They are going to need to spend less time starting from zero, less time at exploration, and more time on the things that I've been saying for the last year, which is things like taste, refinement, discernment, strategy. I think those are higher level mental tasks that a lot of people shy away from. But that's all we got at this point. So if you really want to separate yourself in this age of AI, that's what you're going to need to focus on. So for the non-designers building things, think that you could be building landing pages, your pitch decks, your presentations. And I think that's good news. I think this can help you with the gap between I have an idea and I actually can see that idea on the screen, right? Like that gap is closing very fast with AI, actualizing the things that is in your brain. Is this a try it for me? Yes, it is a try it. Go to Claude.ai, and here's a little prompt for you to try it. Design a simple landing page layout for brackets, and include in the brackets whatever your business is or whatever it is that you do at your job. And the bracket, insert that there. Use clean, modern design principles. And then you go ahead and describe the sections, how you want it to visually look, and your color and font recommendations. I think then you can take that output and you can go over to something like a Google AI Studio, a Framer, a Webflow, a Canva, a Manus, a Lovable. And then you can see how that looks and refine and build from there. That's the new design workflow in 2026. It's available to you now. Hit me up. Tell me if you're going to be trying that and how it goes for you. Buy it. Should you invest? If you are a designer, I say proceed with caution, not panic. You're not being replaced by AI yet. Your skills are not obsolete, but this is on you to evolve or not evolve. If you're a business owner or creator, I say buy it. Yes, it's a yes from me, 100%. The ability to go from idea to visual without hiring a designer first, I think it's a complete competitive advantage in this marketplace. And here's the tea on that. AI is not replacing creativity. It's removing the technical barrier that used to be there between idea and execution. And those of us who are, I think, ambitious are going to collect $200 and pass go and get to the bag. So let's move on to my next hot tea, my next topic. Google personal intelligence. I've been using this inside Gemini. Listen, Google wants to know you better than you know yourself, which is wild, right? Well, I think they already do, though, to be honest. Like, Google invented the internet. It's Google, guys. Like, they already have your data. That's my take on it. That might be simplifying it a bit for my privacy experts, for my compliance experts. And I am looking to have a little fireside chat with a compliance and a privacy, AI privacy expert. So if this gets to one, please send me a DM. Jeneba went. Okay, Google expanded personal intelligence across AI. I've not tried it in Chrome. I've tried it in the Gemini app. It is free across the US. It's a feature that connects to Gmail, Google Photos, all Google apps. And it is designed to give you uniquely relevant responses from AI. So what it actually does, it can think about like giving you personalized shopping recommendations based on your past purchases, travel itineraries built directly from your hotel confirmations and your last trips and receipts. Tech support tailored to the exact device that you have. Layover food recommendations while you're traveling that are using geolocation to see your exact gate and flight time. Let's get into the fine print. My privacy folks that I just referenced come to the front of the class. Listen, the fine print is only available for personal Google accounts only, not for business, workspace, enterprise, or education users. Gemini and AI mode don't train directly on Google Photos or Gmail, but they do train on your prompts and modal responses. And you can toggle this on and off with whatever apps it connects to on the free tier. So this is what Google is saying. Like I said, we already have your data and we're trying to make it useful for you. The question is not whether it works or not. The question is, what data are you trading for convenience? So think about that. To corporate leaders that are listening to this, notice that it's only on their personal account right now, which means that Google is testing. They're in beta because they are coming for Google Workspace and it will be on your enterprise account. So this is a conversation that should be had with your entire IT team. Test it, try it, buy it. Testing it, connect it to Google or Gemini and ask something like, find the last time I bought running shoes and find me something that exactly matches my old pair that I like, okay? And then you can see what happens. For trying it, you can try it on a trip that you have coming up. Personal intelligence only. Don't do any manual research. Just tell it to make you an itinerary and see if it compares to something that you would have just came up with manually or on your own. Buy it. Should you invest? For personal productivity, I say yes, it's low risk. For business, enterprise use, organizational use, I think it's a hold. And you need to be watching for that workspace rollout, because data governance needs to be at the forefront of this conversation and definitely can't come last. Is your organization ready for this? Probably not, right? Because most people don't have good data governance or any governance practices at all. This is a perfect use case for an AI readiness audit, which I do offer in my business. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Canva, hot tea, okay? Hot topic, Canva AI 2.0. I love Canva, okay? Canva is that girl. But they let their first AI product lag so bad. They were overdue for 2.0. Canva went full AI. They did not ask for your opinion. They also are not minding. They don't care if I'm minding their business or not. Like Canva is doing well on their own. I do think when the Canva 1.0 AI came out, it was really good. And then they just let it lag, or I don't really know what happened to it. Like Canva was releasing way too many features at once. And so that's what I think happened, right? Okay, Canva did a complete overhaul of the prompt editing tools inside of the AI, which was amazing because I stopped using Canva AI like 3-4 months ago. If you know, if you read my Pretty Minds newsletter, that was the last greatest, best thing that I've made with Canva AI, and that's the logo for that newsletter, and it's like a 3D colorful brain. And so you will know when I use Canva AI 2.0 because I will upgrade that logo as well as the logo for this show. Both made in Canva. So I'm looking forward to using that. The last prompt, like space, the text box, I think it was terrible. Like it never understood what I was saying. Even when I was taking my good prompts from other platforms, it just never generated anything like good compared to the prompts. So here's what's new, a unified prompt interface. So you can type something like create a multi-channel summer campaign for my brand. And Canva is going to generate all of that. And then you can just go in and refine it. It has persistent memory. This is so important because I feel like I was telling it the same thing all the time and it was never getting it right. So it's going to learn your brand, your style, your aesthetic, which clutch. Object-based intelligence. It's going to identify specific elements, a button, a font style, without you having to touch the rest of the design, which was perfect because before you had to go in and like, if you wanted to change one thing, you had to recreate everything, which sucks. HTML imports. This is clutch because now I can take my email templates over to Canva and finish coding them out there, make new ones. This is going to be clutch for anybody who's doing design work in Anthropic because we all know how those usage limits are hitting. Like I hit my usage limits on one prompt today, which I think is absolutely insane. I don't know who Anthropic is. I don't know who's their user or their super user. It's not me because I'm on a $20 plan anyway. So I know it's a $200 folk. That's fine. But y'all are really like out of hand now. I need to see somebody from Anthropic. Like I would like to see you on the street because I need to speak to you. I don't know. I'm about to start talking to the guy who's always on threads from Anthropic. I have to DM him because it's just crazy. that you can't get anything done in there anymore. And I use all the best practices, which I'm about to post about soon on LinkedIn. I use all the best practices for context engineering and for prompting and for usage limits. And it still doesn't work. It still doesn't make a difference. So that's why I say you should be tool agnostic. You should focus on AI literacy and AI fluency first and not tool first, not only being able to use one tool, because you are going to be screwed, especially if that one tool is Claude. So now you can continue your workflow, which is something that I've been doing anyway. I'll start a project in Perplexity, Gemini, or ChatGPT. Then when I'm like already finished and all I need to do is execute and bring it to life, that's when I'll go into Claude and do it there. But since with the limits, I've even having to like create it once and then take it further in my workflow. So take it into Google AI Studio and finish it, take it into Lovable and finish it. Now I can do the same thing with Canva Code, allegedly. I haven't tested it, but I don't know. They're saying you can with the 2.0. It has a unified connector interface. So now you can connect with Slack, Gemini, Google Drive, Calendar. I think it's going to be more connectors here, so stay tuned if none of those work for you. For consultants, marketers, solopreneurs, they claim you will have PowerPoint style generation for doing your decks. I had been doing my decks in Gamma. I know that Claude has the Canva connector, but I'm probably going to go back to Canva full, straight out. Here's the catch. They are rolling out a research preview. I think only the first 1 million users who visit the homepage are going to get it. So probably when I'm done this episode, I need to go claim mine. Adobe dropped a similar announcement the day before. They are still trying to battle. I think Adobe should just give the game up. I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't even know. At the enterprise level, Adobe should just copy Microsoft's strategy for just being integrated into enterprise and leave it at that. Like, just be happy with that, ride off into the sunset. What do you think? I think they're dead in the water. So, what is Canva saying? They're telling everybody in marketing, look, your job changed, but it's not ended. Prompt is a skill. Prompt is a language now. Use it. What does this mean for AI literacy? Like I said, it's not about learning tools. It's about learning what to ask for. And it's about being crystal exceptionally clear on what you want. And for brands, I think those that are going to win are those that have everything documented. You have your visual identity documented. So it's clear enough to just brief AI on. Your brand guidelines shouldn't be living in somebody else's head at this point, because that's just going to be more chaos for the tool and not the content that you're hoping for. So test it, try it, buy it, test it. If you get access, go ahead and test it. Prompt out a full newsletter. I think my first test might be refining those logos and then building out a full content campaign around this podcast, because I'm now trying to build a AI media brand. So you will see that rolling out soon. And I think I'll test it in Canva. I'll be trying it for my whole Beehive ecosystem. Is this a buy it? Is this an invest? Yes. For solo creators, for brands, for marketing teams, for enterprise, for agencies, yes. For enterprise, let's see. On the consistency, on the memory, let's see how the features work. Claude Opus 4.0, that's the next hot tea. I have tried it. I cannot say that I have noticed a difference between Claude 4.6 and Claude Opus 4.7. Allegedly, it is supposed to be the most rigorous, precise model that Anthropic has ever built. I think this is probably just a patch for the leak that happened with the Mythos or whatever it was, however you say it, which was supposed to be their like Optimus Prime model. I haven't noticed a difference, but what they say is different is self-verification is built in. It's going to review your past outputs against what you requested before it responds. So more logic built in. It holds tasks better. This is important for my long prompters. I'm a long prompter. Like, I keep the context window open forever. I know you're not supposed to be doing that, but I do it sometimes. So you can continuously prompt without starting a new chat. Back on those benchmarks, the benchmark says from Cursor Bench that it got 12 plus points on the benchmark. So it allowed Anthropic to have more benchmark gains in the world of governance and benchmarking and quality. It is 3 times better on vision. It can catch things like misaligned buttons. This is all like design stuff, but on the front end design, it can basically get stuff like almost pixel perfect, allegedly. So one thing I do notice is if you're going to use this Opus 4.7, you're definitely not using Claude, because after like 1 or 2 prompts on the Opus, it's done. So it uses the max complex architecture, which makes your tokens and your usage limits run out fast. Here's the plot twist. It allegedly can do your prompt engineering for you. That's a no for me. If you give it vague, brief prompts, it can infer and get your prompts up and give you a better output. I don't want that. 4.6, if you gave vague prompts, it would not, like AI, Claude wouldn't really be able to do anything, but 4.7 is alleging that it could take your prompts from like bad, poor to great. I got to keep my judgment and my cognitive abilities intact. So no, that's a no for me. This is why I teach think before you prompt, by the way. That's one of my AI literacy frameworks. Opus 4.7 really just made the case for thinking before you prompt more serious. For my consultants, my builders listening to this is your model. It could do your homework for you. Test it. Take one prompt that you had in 4.6 and run it in 4.7. See what happens. See if it gives you a tighter, better output. I think for trying it, give it something like a complex multitask workflow or setup. See if you want to build out a full app. Give the full context, acceptance criteria, instructions, PRD, everything, and see what it's going to do. Does it catch more errors? Does it make more better suggestions or recommendations? Is this a buy it? I think it's a buy it. Yes, but proceed with caution because it's going to run up your limits so fast. That's it. That's it for today's episode. This is everything that happened in the past 7 to 10 days in AI. Everything you should be paying attention to. This is the tea on what the week is telling us and what is going on, what is actually going on with AI. Google made AI more personal. Canva made AI more conversational. Anthropic is making AI more precise, but really less forgiving. And here's what I see is connecting with all three. The bar for human in the loop is going up and not down. Google will surface your data in ways that you could have never imagined and will and continue to. Canva will generate content that misses your brand if you can't articulate it right. And Claude is going to give you exactly what you asked for and nothing more. So this week isn't about AI getting easier to use. It's about AI getting sharper and requiring sharper operators and builders. And that's the work that everybody needs to be doing. So I will catch you on the next High Tech Tea episode. Reach out to me if anything hit or you want me to cover anything in the next episode. Come find me on LinkedIn. Let's continue the conversation. Find me on Threads. Drop questions. Tell me what anything in this release that hit different for you before next week's episode goes out. I'm not going to tell you when it's coming out because, listen, I'm going to just put it out when it need to come out, whenever the tea is ready. So I am your host, Jeneba Went, and this is High Tech Tea.